Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1969 Seattle Pilots What If scenario. Today's matchup features the Seattle Pilots versus the Chicago White Sox at Comiskey Park. On the mound for the Pilots today is Marty Pattin, whose record is 3-3 with a 3.25 ERA. And pitching for the White Sox today is Gary Peters, whose record is 7-2 with a 1.93 ERA. And so we have suffered back-to-back losses. So frustrating. We fell behind 8-3 after 3 innings, and we made it a ball game, just as we did against the Royals in that final game of the series. But it wasn't enough. There were 5 total home runs in this game, including 3 Pilots players hitting their first home run of the season. So, too bad it was all for nothing as we move on to Game 2 of the 3-game series. And we have another left-hander today after facing Tommy John yesterday. Today we have Gary Peters, who I believe scorched us the last time out. So we will get started here with the game momentarily. What did I want to show you? I know what I was thinking was today we had a 1980 Detroit Lions alternate history game. It was week 14 of the 16-week season, and it got me thinking that with all the time that I've taken off this season from the Pilots, I'm afraid that we're falling behind on the schedule because we still want to have the 1984 Detroit Tigers season replay season coming up, starting in April, and I've got to get a move on with getting the prep work done for that. And so I think we're going to start having an occasional doubleheader day, and that's what we're doing today. Normally I don't play a Pilots game on the same day that I do a Lions game because it takes so much time away from my Sunday. But we're going to do it today, and going forward, we may have multiple doubleheader days, especially after the Lions season is over. Maybe we'll have every Sunday as a day-night doubleheader. So that's what I was thinking. Here is Marty Pattin. He's starting today. The only reliever unavailable today is Jack Acker. Everybody else will be available. And our lineup versus the left-hander, Gary Peters. Similar to yesterday's game, I'm going to give Van Kelly a start against the left-hander, as he is a left-handed bat. I can't justify starting Ray Oyler in back-to-back games. That seems foolish. But we will have Danny Walton again out in left field. He had his first career home run yesterday. And Don Bosch will get another start in center field, as Tommy Agee, who is a right-hander, does not hit lefties well, and he'll ride the bench for another game. Let's go ahead and take a official rundown of the Seattle Pilots lineup for today. Batting leadoff in right field is Tommy Harper. Batting second at third base is Rich Rollins. Batting third center field is Don Bosch. Batting cleanup, playing first base, is Deron Johnson. Batting fifth and catching is Jerry McNertney. Batting sixth in left field is Danny Walton. Batting seventh at second base is Van Kelly. Batting eighth at shortstop is Gary Sutherland. And batting ninth is the pitcher, Marty Pattin. Okay, let's take a look at Gary Peters. He's off to a brilliant start so far this year. He's 7-2 with a 1.93 ERA, 44 Ks and 70 innings pitched. He's already thrown 70 innings. He's got 2 complete games, including a shutout. If we look at his log, he has started twice against us, giving up 3 runs on 6 hits in 8 innings, way back on April 17th, and then he went 6 innings, giving up 4 runs on 8 hits, April 27th. So this is the 3rd time around for Gary Peters. You'll see here he does have a sinking fastball rated an 85, 3 other pitches in his arsenal. all below average. Overall rated an 82. The 32-year-old lefty doesn't go to free agency until 1973. Okay, there's the defense for the White Sox today. Not so great up the middle, as their second baseman is, I believe, Pete Ward. And their shortstop, of course, is Woodie, who's not great. And their catcher, Pavletich, is below average. Okay, let's see if we can't get a few base hits back through the box today. Tommy Harper leading off with a 1-2 count and a base hit to right. So we'll take it any way we can get it. Do we want to go for two? We do not. We do not run on Walt Williams. Runner on first. We might run on Pavletich. What's the percentage? Nearly 80%. I'm not going to, though. I'm going to trust our hit-and-run specialist, Rich Rollins, although he is only batting .228 versus lefties. .268 overall. Seems to be in a little bit of a slump. Ground ball to second, and Ward tosses out Rollins. We do have a runner in scoring position now for Bosch. Bosch, a .455 hitter versus lefties, batting .304 with 2 home runs. And he strikes out looking, come on. You gotta take the bat off your shoulder. 2 down. Here's Deron Johnson. Huge disappointment. So why not put him in the cleanup role? And he strikes out. Oh no, it's a base hit to left. It looked like it was going to be a K. We got a notice there from Sean. Nonetheless, we do drive in a run. Do we want to stretch it into a double? We do not. So good job by Johnson. After I chastise him there, he comes through with an RBI single. And it's 1-0 Pilots. Runner on first. Jerry McNertney up. McNertney batting .271. 3 home runs. Ground ball up the middle. That's playable for Ward. And he tosses him out. So we do get on the board early. Go to the bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at the White Sox lineup rundown. A little bit of a mix-up today. We got Buddy Bradford leading off, playing center field. Batting second, playing second base is Pete Ward. Batting third and catching is Don Pavletich. Batting cleanup, playing shortstop is Woodie Held. Batting fifth at third base is Bill Melton. Batting sixth, playing first base is Bob Spence. Batting seventh in left field is Carlos May. Batting eighth in right field is Walt Williams, and the pitcher, Gary Peters, batting ninth. Let's take a look at Marty Pattin. Probably our most consistent pitcher this year. He's making his 8th start. 3-3 with a .325 ERA. Look at this walk to strikeout rate. That is amazing. I'll take a 500 pitcher who doesn't walk anybody. And he's given up less hits, less than 1 hit per inning. So that's good too. I'm pretty solid. I wonder what his whip is. Opponents are batting .250 against him. He does have a complete game shutout. Fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. And I guess that would be a 4-seam fastball. It's rated an 84. Overall, an 83. The 26-year-old righty goes to arbitration next year. Let's take a look at our defense. Kind of spotty. Johnson at first. We've got Sutherland out of position at shortstop. Walton in left. Harper in right. Those are all rough. And I tend to think when we face these lefties, we got to start some righties in the lineup that are defensively deficient. Maybe that's why we're giving up 10 runs a ball game. Okay, here we go. Buddy Bradford leading off against Marty Pattin. 2-2 count. Bradford pops it up on the infield into foul ground on the third base side. And 1 down. That's going to bring up Pete Ward, getting a spot start today at second base. He's a left-hander, so they're doing a little platooning. He belts it to center field. Good catch by Bosch out there. Bosch has got to cover not only all this territory out here, but he's got to cover left field and right field as well, since both of those defenders don't have very good range. 2 down for Pavletich. Pavletich flips it to right, and Harper can handle that one for out number 3. So a 1-2-3 inning for Pattin. We go to the top of the second with Danny Walton leading off. As I mentioned, Walton, first home run. of the season in yesterday's ball game. Ground ball to first. Spence makes the play. One down for Van Kelly. Van Kelly, lefty on lefty. There's a ground ball up the middle. I guess Pete Ward's got better range than we thought, as the middle infielders are getting the job done. And then we've got Gary Sutherland, who hit his first home run of the season yesterday as well. Moved him over to shortstop today. He's batting .350. We got to find ways to get these guys in the lineup. And a base hit back through the box. There we go. Good job by Sutherland. 62% to steal second. I'm going to say, I guess we just let Pattin take a cut here. 0-2 count, and he strikes out on the curveball. Sutherland at first. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Woodie Held leading off. Held had his fourth home run in yesterday's game, and he walks here. So there's something you don't see often. That's only the fourth walk by Pattin. Runner on first. Let's see if we can't get a ground ball double play here. A fly ball to right center field. That's pretty deep. Caught, though, by Bosch for out number one. Next man up is Bob Spence. He's a left-handed hitter, batting .270, 4 home runs. And he strikes out on a four-seamer right down the pipe. There's out number 2. First K for Pattin. Let's go leave it up to Carlos May to get something going. There's a ground ball to Sutherland in short. Flips it over to second, and that'll get the job done. Moving to the third inning with Tommy Harper leading off. Harper, 2 for 8 now in his career versus Gary Peters, and a base hit to left. So Harper 2 for 2 today. Now, I think, what do we do here? Do we try to steal? Let's go ahead and try to steal. Rich Rollins at the plate. He is struggling. He doesn't seem to be getting the hit and runs as successfully as at the start of the season. Low and outside, and Harper steals second base, so good job by Harper. He is now at 50% again. He's 9 for 18 on the year. And remember, he led the American League in stolen bases in 1969 with 73. So he's got some work to do. Remember how bad Ricky Henderson was for us when we had Henderson on the Tigers that first season? That's kind of what's happening here. Okay, can Rollins come through? We got a runner in scoring position, 1-2 count, and he does not. Maybe it's time to give Rollins a break at third. Okay, runner on second. Here is Don Bosch. Bosch 0 for 3 with a walk in his career versus Peters, and a base hit to right. Harper scores again, and it's 2-0. Pilots. Good job by Bosch. He's got 90 speed. That would be 73%. You know what? Johnson's already got a hit today. Let's let him take a cut here versus Peters. Maybe he's coming out of it. No, he strikes out looking. 4 Ks for Peters. Runner on first with 2 down. McNertney will let him take a cut. And a base hit up the middle. So, yeah, it's finally paying off for us having these poor defensive middle infielders. McNertney has the 6th hit for the Pilots today. We need a big one here from Danny Walton. Let's put some space between these teams. And Walton strikes out. So, yeah, Peters strikes out the side despite giving up a run on a few hits there. We go to the bottom of the third inning, 2-0. And Walt Williams leading off. Williams sends it to center field, pretty deep, 370 feet for out number 1. Here's a pretty good hitting pitcher. We talked about it before. Gary Peters, batting .250. Ground ball to first. Can Johnson handle it? He does. On his own. 2 outs. But back to the top of the lineup with Buddy Bradford. Bradford, hard hit ground ball to second. And a 1-2-3 inning. So Pattin looking good through 3. Going to the top of the 4th with Van Kelly leading off. He's 0 for 1 today. Off the end of the bat into center field. Caught by Bradford. Here's our number 8 hitter, Sutherland. He had a base hit to start off. I guess his first time up anyway. And a ground ball to third. And an error by the third baseman. We'll take it. Melton boots it over there at third. Everybody knows we're going to lay down a bunt. It's not going to stop me from doing it. Pattin, oh well, is that a line drive to third? It was. Come on, that's crap. I know that not every pitcher gets a perfect sacrifice bunt every single time, but that's kind of frustrating. And then Harper, who's 2 for 2 on the day, flies out to left center field. Okay, we're going to the bottom of the 4th. We do not execute as we should. We go bottom of the 4th inning. Up 2-0. It's Pete Ward, Pavletich, and held. 2, 3, and 4 due up. Ward flips it out to left field. Walton waiting for it, making the catch. 1 down now for Pavletich, and he strikes out on an inside 4-seam fastball. Second K for Pattin. 2 down. It's going to bring up Woodie held. Held 2-2 count. Oh, he just gets a piece of it. Pops it up on the infield, and Rollins making the catch. Pattin looking sharp. We go to the top of the 5th inning with Rollins leading off. Rich Roll in a big slump. There's a slump buster. Base hit to left field. Do we want to go for 2? I kind of do, but we're not going to. We are going to let Bosch swing away here. He can handle the bat versus lefties. And there's a pop-up into foul ground down the third baseline toward the outfield. Who's going to catch that? The second baseman, Ward, coming a long way to get that one. There is 1 down now as Deron Johnson steps up. He strikes out again. 6 Ks for Peters. I don't know what to do here with him. And McNertney, ground ball to first. I wonder if if that inning would have played out differently if I had gone for a double, with Rollins. Having him in scoring position. Maybe we need to take more 50-50 chances. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Melton, Spence, and May. Melton, 1 for 7 now against Marty Pattin. And there's the first hit of the ball game for the White Sox. Leadoff man is on. It's a good job by Pattin giving up only 1 hit and 1 walk. Typically, as we've discovered, if you don't give up a lot of walks, you'll give up a ton of hits. But it does seem with his Pattin's overall stats this year that he doesn't do much of either so far. And now it's back-to-back. So here it comes, guys. First and second, nobody out. Number 7 hitter, Carlos May up. He's a .313 hitter versus righties. Flips it to left. It's going to be caught by Walton. Melton will hold at second. We could really use a double play here. Williams has a little bit better than average speed with the base path. There's a couple of slow pokes. Here we go. And a base hit to center. So that'll get a run in. Spence will go to third, and it's 2-1 with the pitcher up. We're going to pull the infield in, but you know what? Peters can handle the bat, and we already know what happens when we do this. Everyone's safe on a fielder's choice, right? We've had that back-to-back times. He is putting a bunt down. This is back to Pattin, and the run scores. Jesus. It's such bullshit. Such bullshit. Game is tied at 2, and they're on the verge of going ahead here. Runner in scoring position. Infield single, that'll get a runner over to third. 4 hits in the inning. Hey, that's bunt. Was that an out? I mean, I can't argue too much with the sack bunt being successful because it is Gary Peters. I know that the name has nothing to do with the outcome because it's all a bunch of zeros and ones, but it's still a bunch of bullshit. Pete Ward, one swing of the bat, can pretty much destroy us here. Ground ball up the middle. Van Kelly boots it. And we are losing. Well, there's nothing to do about it now except for lay back and take it. As Pavletich hits it to Pattin. And that'll do it. So White Sox take the lead. Pattin was on cruise control there. Gave up 2 hits to start off the inning. And it all fell apart. Moving on to the 6th. Ground ball to second. Out number 1. Here's Van Kelly, whose error led to the White Sox taking the lead. He strikes out looking 7 Ks for Peters. And then Gary Sutherland shoots it off the wall. That'll be a double. Sutherland's 4th double and 5th extra base hit in just 7 games. Look at his OPS. You know he's going to, at some point this year, whenever the game deems him done on this streak, he's going to go over 40, and that'll drop down to the whatever his career average is, a 650 OPS, I guess. Marty Pattin with 2 outs. I mean, we got to take him out, right? Because we need a pinch hit here. And whoever comes in relief will at least get 2 innings out of him, probably. So who do we have on the bench that hits lefty as well? Nobody. Nobody does. So we're going to give it to Wayne Comer. Pinch hitting. Batting 194 versus lefties. 1-1 count and a ground ball out. Going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Jerry Stevenson coming in. He's good for 2 innings, giving up a run, but striking everybody out. He's got 29 Ks and 29 innings pitched, so he's capable. Ground ball to third. Rollins tosses him out at first. 1 down. Here's Bill Melton. Walks. Runner on first for Bob Spence. He strikes out of that screwball. Good job by Stevenson. Got the old walk-strikeout combination here. A comebacker to Stevenson, and there's out number 3. Okay, they're going to bring in a defensive replacement out there in left field. It is Ken Berry coming in. Gary Peters had 107 pitches. And Tommy Harper leading off. Harper 2 for 3 today. Let's take a look at the in-game stats. 2 for 3 has the stolen base. And he pops it up at home plate. 1 down. Rich Rollins. Ground ball to first. 2 outs. And Bosch. So we're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Walt Williams. Sharply hit. Line drive right at the second baseman. That's the only way Kelly can make a play, apparently, is if you hit it right at him. So he doesn't have to think about it. Here's Peters, 0 for 1 with a sacrifice, and an RBI, and just a bunch of bullshit. 2 down. We're on the verge of having a 3-game losing streak. As Bradford strikes out, we go to the top of the 8th inning. Deron Johnson. Base hit into right field as Peters is officially tired. Runner on first, and they're thinking, I'm going to bunt. And that is what I should do here. But we're not going to. McNertney can handle the bat. He's batting .310 versus lefties. Let's Let's see if McNertney can do something good here. Come on. 9 Ks. This game is over, man. And there's a double play to end the inning. So we're going to the top of the 8th. Oh! That was not a double play somehow. Well, can Van Kelly make up for his poor defense? He's only batting at 100 versus lefties. Ground ball to third. We're going to the 8th. Let's give Jerry Stevenson a third inning here. Pete Ward leading off the bottom of the 8th. Popping it up. 1 out. Pavletich, ground ball up the middle. Sutherland for out number 2. And Woodie held. Fly ball to left for out number 3. So we're down to our final 3 outs here. Gary Sutherland, we got to let him bat. Why is it that the game is letting these pitchers continue to pitch? All these losses, though, I mean, all 3 losses that we've had in a row has allowed their pitcher to go 140 plus. So, I mean, maybe that's the key to having the game AI get back on top of us, is to let them just keep pitching. Sutherland, ground ball to third. Stevenson coming out of the ball game. I guess it's going to be Tommy Agee. Here we go, 1 down. Agee, 1-1 count. Ground ball to second. And we're down to Tommy Harper. Here's the ball game. He pops it up, and that's going to do it. We had a no-hitter through the 5th, and then they scored 3 runs, and that was it. Pilots lose 3-2. Let's take a look at the standings. Oh, there is the National League, because we were looking at the Padres, still sitting on 10 wins, 17 games back, as we're a month and a half into the season. And we lose 3 in a row now. This is what I wanted to show you. This is why I was delaying. I knew there was something I wanted to show you. We are 5 games over 500, but because of our run differential, the Pythagorean says that we're 1 game under 500 based on our run differential. So we are actually exceeding expectations based on our runs scored. So, you know, that's why this can't last forever. We are a much worse team. And we are 10-1 in 1-run games, and that is the difference maker. So if you're looking for an explanation, there you go. Now you know. Here's the headlines. Al Downing, case 5, on the way to a 6-0 shutout over the... couldn't even bother to mention it. Oh, the Twins right here. Next up, White Sox beat the Pilots. I think the White Sox have got to be a much better team than the 500 team they're portraying. Everybody who had a good game yesterday had a terrible game today. Kelly's, absolutely hurt us there. Rollins was terrible. Let's take a look at transactions. We do have a couple of injuries here. Okay, a couple things. First of all, Rico Cardi of the Braves signs a 5-year extension. Do I need to update it? Yeah, I got to go in there and fix it because the game doesn't know any better. And then Joe Gibbon for the Giants is going to miss a couple of days. He's a reliever. And Frank Bertagna, a starter for the surprise Senators, is going to miss 2 weeks. All right, let's pull up the box score and get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and or subscribe to the channel. Come back tomorrow with Game 3 of the series. Try to end this streak. Who do we give the player game to? I think we're going to give it to Gary Sutherland. He went 2 for 4 and had a double. The only extra base hit in the game. Tommy Harper scored 2 runs and had a stolen base. Bosch and Deron Johnson had RBIs. Marty Pattin takes the loss. Hard luck loss. His defense let him down. Everybody let him down. Jerry Stevenson, great job out of the pen. 3 hitless, scoreless innings. Gary Peters gets the win. He is now 8-2 on the year. That's going to do it. We're going to come back tomorrow, as I mentioned, with Game 3 of the 3-game series. Until then, everyone have a great day.